Where's Wally from now on?
Well,
Has
indeed.
to be.
Yeah, if you have spotted Ander, do let us know. He said we thought he might have been in Kazakhstan. We really don't know. We're possibly at a wedding in Kazakhstan. He's been spotted all over the place, though. So Steve in for Ando this evening. We're joined in the studio by another of, well, Ozzy Ardele's babes. Can we call him that? I don't know. Can we call you that? Would you collectively call that? Robbie Elliott. Good evening, Robbie.
Good evening, Robbie.
And Robbie is preparing to take on a 3,500 mile cycle ride with triathlete Phil Gray, who's also here. Hello, Phil.
Hi there.
Cheers for coming in to see us this evening. So before we talk football a little bit, Robbie, let's talk about the Bike for Bobby challenge and exactly what it entails.
Yeah, it's a bike ride that myself and Phil are undertaking in October the 17th. We start at Lisbon and then we cycle up to Porto, go to Barcelona on the Champions League game with Celtic, and then we go up to PSV, to Fulham, to Wembley, to Ipswich, finishing off at Newcastle on the 11th of November against West Ham.
And there's an obvious connection between those places, and it's called Bike for Bobby, so most people have worked it out, but just explain it anyway.
Yeah, it's all the clubs Sir Bobby managed.
So yeah, you go to all of those different venues. And so Phil, as a triathlete, I suppose this is something that you're probably more used to than Robbie is. I mean, obviously he wouldn't go these sort of distances.
I was going to say, that's the thing. I'm used to cycling, quite regularly and reasonable distances, but this is the more I think about it, the more daunting it becomes. 3,500 miles is a long old way.
Well, Marco, how far did you go when you?
Well, I did a tenth of that. I think we did about 380 miles over 4 or 5 days. We were doing about sort of 70 to 90 miles a day, and we loved it, and it's the first time I've really done anything like that, but I couldn't imagine doing it 10 times more. That sounds a heck of a challenge. I mean, are you going to be just the two of you most of the way? Are you hoping there's going to be people joining you all the way?
Well, it's the two of us for most of the way. We have a celebrity section at Wembley, and then when we arrive back in Newcastle, we're just organising the mass ride, which will be launching pretty soon, so that's the one where everyone can get involved.
So I mean, that was the thing. I did my training on my own, but then when I joined, there was a group of about 20 of us. That was a fantastic spur and a way of getting through the days, that were, you had lots of people around you. That's going to be difficult, just the two of you egging each other on.
I think that was part of the challenge, wasn't it? The fact that it is good, as if it's not hard enough.
Yeah.
It's going to be the two of us, riding on and head down. I think the main reason Rob asked us to do it is because I'm quite a big lad, so he can hide behind us and get out.
You're the front man, are you?
Getting your slipstream.
You just have to make sure that you don't fall out, because that is a long way to go.
It's a good point. How many miles a day do you hope to be cycling then, on average?
I think it's going to average out at somewhere between 120 to 150 miles a day.
Well, that's a Tour de France stage, isn't it?
Yeah.
So they do fly by. I was surprised out the days we did 90 miles how quickly they do go by. When you got that purpose, but to do it, that many consecutive days, that's going to be the challenge, isn't it?
But you've kept yourself pretty fit, haven't you, Robbie, since being a professional footballer, which isn't that long ago after all.
No, I like to think so. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I've took the challenge, because I've been doing a lot of bike work in the gym and kept myself fit, like you say. So it's something I've always wanted to do, and it just fitted in this summer or this Christmas. And just explain the charities as well that are going to benefit from this, because it's through your foundation, isn't it? It's through my own foundation, the Robbie Elliott Foundation, and the two charities we're supporting are the Sir Bobby Robson Foundation and Breakthrough Breast Cancer. And I would imagine it's quite easy for people, if they want to follow you, they can do an online search in your search engine and find, if they type Robbie Elliott bike ride, they'll probably find you. Yeah, bikeforbobby.com or the RobbieElliottFoundation.com. And there are cameras in the studio this evening. There's a documentary being made about your escapade as well, isn't there? Yeah, there's a couple. There's the one obviously about myself and Phil and the ride, and then there's a one hopefully with Sir Bobby and the history of when he was at the clubs, which we're visiting. Well, it's not that long away either, is it now? It's getting very close. So all the main training's been done, has it? It's all in the bag. Yeah, pretty much. We hope so. I mean, one of the daunting things is Rob's away to World Cup on Thursday, and the next time I see him's in Portugal. So it's pretty much, it's all had to be done by now. Getting plenty of support, fellas. People texting in. Let's take one at random. Edmund has texted 81333. Start your text BBC. Says, can you wish Robbie and Phil luck for their bike ride from me? I read about it in 442 magazine. It's a great idea. So have you found that you've had loads of support for what you're going to undertake? Yeah, it's been phenomenal. I think once we put the idea out there and you put Sir Bobby's name to it, it's just taken off, and it's gone a lot bigger than what myself and Phil ever imagined when I first went to him about a year ago with the idea.
I think the idea itself, when you tell anyone it, and they're blown away by the concept. I know when Rob came to me and started telling us about this idea he had, I just, the back of my mind was thinking, wow, that's fantastic. How would I possibly get involved with something like that? And not knowing that he already had me planned, written in for to be doing it anyway. And you start talking to someone, you see their face light up and just think, that sounds great. And that's what we're finding, everyone you mention it to just thinks it's a great idea.
I'm sure you'll get some people in Spain and those places to join in. They're all cycling mad over there.
Yes. Well, yeah.
Pick a few stragglers up on the way.
You never know. You'll develop a peloton.
I think we might be the stragglers.
Well, all the very best with it. And Bike for Bobby, if people search for that and want to sponsor you, I'm sure you'd welcome as many people getting on board as they can. And you will arrive back then in the northeast. When exactly?
West Ham game.
West Ham game.
Yeah.
Have you got a date for that?
It's the 11th of November.
11th of November. So,
well, the mass ride that we're doing is on the 10th, isn't it?
Saturday
the 10th, where we're trying to get as many people as we can to turn up and do that and raise whatever they can for the.
And where does that start from?
That's going to be in Ponteland. It's going to start and finish in Ponteland. It's a loop when Rob was sort of learning to get on his bike because he hadn't cycled since being a teenager. We had a loop that we did.
There's a few hills around there, aren't there?
It's a little bit not what we're going to come across in Spain, I tell you.
It's not exactly the Pyrenees, but still, it'll test people a little bit. It's just a bit of fun, really, isn't it?
Well, it's something for someone to sort of be part of what we're doing and hopefully raise some money for a great cause. And
we might well, while you're en route as well, try and give you a call and see how you're getting on, and give you some motivating words of advice. Which will be the last thing you need. But all the very
not
best
advice they need, it's that special cream.
Padded shorts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, chafing's another matter altogether. Thanks, fellas. It's really good to have you in the studio.
Thanks very much.
Cheers, Phil Gray and Robbie Elliott, former Newcastle United and just a little bit Sunderland fullback, who are going to be undertaking a 3,500 mile cycle ride from Spain right the way up through Europe and ending up in Newcastle, all for a couple of charities. And search for Bike for Bobby online if you want more details.